Good morning, everybody. This is Tawanda Dofat, President and CEO of Majestic Millionaires Travel Agency. We have arrived at our first port, which is the Bahamas. I don't know if you can see that sign there on the building that says, "I love Bahamas." We have arrived here. We're in Nassau. They're doing some construction here at the port. But like I said, there's so many changes that are taking place on cruises that we really needed to bring this information to you as we sail. This trip here, we're on with several travel agents from Majestic Millionaires, and we're all learning the new procedures and rules and regulations that most of us are going to be learning and hearing and seeing on your next cruise. The actual island hasn't changed that much. There's Senior Frog down on that end. But everything else has changed, and we are trying to travel back better. Let me see if I can bring this down here some. There we go. We're going to get off the ship right there. And a lot of people have been inboxing us asking, is it safe? How are you maneuvering, with the mask and with COVID and different people on the ship? Basically, we were all required to be vaccinated. You had to be fully vaccinated. And not only did you need to be fully vaccinated, you must have a COVID-19 negative test within 48 hours. That was a challenge for some of us because 48 hours is not enough time sometimes to get your results back. So sometimes you may have to go ahead and pay for quality and luxury services to get your test back within 15 minutes. They did take a rapid test for us here on this cruise if you were fully vaccinated. And again, this cruise is only for fully vaccinated guests. We had a couple of situations getting here. With any trip, when you're dealing with, many people, there's always something. No matter what you talk about, what you tell people, it's always going to be something. We had someone to lose their passport on this trip, so they couldn't get on the ship. There was a lady that didn't get her COVID test back in time. Several things happened, but you have to do those, dot the I and cross the T every day to make sure you have all your documents, to make sure you go to a reputable place to get your COVID test so the results can come back on time. And you should have a backup for your COVID test. This is very, very important. I had 2 COVID tests scheduled to come on the cruise, and I went to the first place, and there was a big note on the door that said, the window, that said they no longer do the COVID test that is instant, and they only do the PCR. So, and this was a day before we were leaving to get on the cruise. So just imagine if I didn't have a backup plan. So I scheduled 2 tests. And then I also scheduled a test here, in Miami. So when we arrived in Miami, if my results were not back, I can take another test. You can always cancel the appointment if you get your results back while you're at home. But the city you're going to or the country you're going to, always have that backup, because you don't want to get to the airport and your results are not back yet, and then you miss your trip. And another thing, the person that lost her passport and the people that didn't get the COVID test results back in time, none of them had the travel insurance. And I know you guys are tired of me talking about the travel insurance. And I know everybody wants to go on a trip, and they say, oh, I'm going no matter what. I even hear people say that I'm going to go unless I die. Other than that, I'll be there. But you never know what's going to happen. We also had someone that was coming on the trip whose mother had to be put in hospice, and they didn't have travel insurance. So it's not that you're not going to go on the trip. What if something happens to your family? What if something happens to your child? What if you have to get back for an emergency? What if your COVID test doesn't come back in time? You have to have travel insurance. So I need you guys, whether you're booking a trip with me or whether you booked your trip already with another company, go to majesticmillionaires.com and purchase your travel insurance. Sometimes the travel insurance is only $42. Sometimes it's $52. It depends on what policy you want to purchase. Travel insurance is king. And of course people say, well, I don't need travel insurance. You don't need it until you need it. Just like car insurance. Just because you don't need it doesn't mean you don't have to have it. So I want you guys to think about that. Go and check it out. You get a free quote on our website. Go to majesticmillionaires.com. Scroll on the home page until you see the link that says travel insurance. Put in your information, and then it will tell you exactly how much a policy costs. Some of you would be so surprised that the policy only costs $70, $60. For two people, maybe $100. And it's really, really important. And let's talk about if you're on your trip and you made it on the trip and you're like, okay, I didn't need the travel insurance. I made it and everything is fine. What happens if you fall while you're in one of these countries? What happens if you miss the ship? What happens if you get lost and you miss the ship? You know, you have to think about all of that. Travel insurance covers more than you just missing the boat or your trip. It covers you while you're on the trip. It covers your bags being lost. It covers if the flight is delayed and you missed a portion of the trip. Travel insurance covers all of that. Now we have a policy called bed rest that will cover you if you get COVID while you're on your vacation. Yes, guys, it's important. Yeah, it's important for me to show you guys the beautiful countries and all the trips that we're going on. But it's also important for me, and it's responsible for me, to tell you each and every time about the travel insurance so you can be safe and secure and protect your investment while you're traveling to these countries, especially on a cruise. You know, if you guys have any questions, I would certainly like to answer them. If you missed anything, make sure you go back and watch the video. If you don't mind, you can share the video because someone else may need the information if you don't. We book cruises for singles, we book cruises for doubles, and we book group cruises. So don't forget that. Single, doubles, or a group. We are a full service travel agency and we have everything good for you. We have now traveled to, I'm glad to say, 61 countries, and I am sure that we can help you navigate the country or the city that you will be traveling to in the near future. Again, my name is Tawanda Dofat. I am the president and CEO of Majestic Millionaires Travel Agency, and I would love to always bring everything to you live so you can see it firsthand for yourself. And I'm waiting on here to see if anyone has any questions for me. Oh, hi, Charlene. Charlene's on here. You're going to love your cruise, Charlene. You are going to love it. There's a lot of changes, but they're all for the better. You no longer have to go to the mustard station as a group. I know most of you, if you've been on a cruise, when they call you and you all have to stop what you're doing, go up to the mustard station, stand there for 20 or 30 minutes and wait for everybody to come to hear the safety rules. You don't have to do that anymore. You just have to go up there when you get on the ship, sign in. They show you how to put the vest on individually, on your time, but before the ship pulls out, and then you're done. Because of COVID, they don't want everyone all bunched up and standing there for long periods of time. You can wear your mask on the ship if you like, but you have to have it on in the elevators when anyone else is in there with you. What else can I share with you all right now? And they were serious. They weren't letting people on if they didn't have their COVID test. If you didn't have your documents, they weren't letting you on. They had a whole section where they were sitting people that didn't have their documents. And then they had family members going to their houses looking for documents, calling airports to see if they lost their documents. But like I said, we are here not only to offer you a trip, we are here to educate you. We are here to make sure you have the knowledge and the information that you need for a safe trip. Not just a trip, a safe trip, because that's really, really important. And we also want you guys to know that not only do we just book a hotel, we are about offering you an experience. Anybody can book you a hotel, but we are working towards making sure that we offer you an experience when you book your next vacation or getaway or retreat with Majestic Millionaires Travel Agency. So you guys have a great morning. If you need anything, make sure you reach out. And even if you're not booking a trip with us, we will answer your questions. We will make sure you know everything you need to know, even though you book with someone else. How about that? And we hope that the next time you plan your trip or your cruise or your hotel stay or your retreat, that you keep us in mind. Majestic Millionaires Travel Agency, we are global and we are love. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.